If you're a business owner and you sell a product or a service, or maybe you're a creator or an influencer and you work with brands to promote their products or their services, either way, you're going to need to sell. I know, it's gross, but it's true. You need to know how to sell effectively to your audience. And if you're anything like me, that might give you the ick. But don't worry, by the end of today's video, I'm going to be telling you how you can sell effectively to your audience in a way that feels good to you and feels good to them. By the way, this video is sponsored by Pixar, more on them later. Okay, so the way that I'm going to structure this video is that I'm going to talk about all the things that you're doing wrong, potentially, which is stopping you from selling effectively. And the first is that your approach is wrong. So we're just going to kick off and start with a big one. The way that you're approaching selling is completely off.
Let me explain.
When you are trying to sell something to your audience, whether it's a product, it's a service, or even if it's something for free, like even if you're giving away freebies, you still kind of need to know how to sell the value of that freebie. The important thing to know is that you are not trying to convince someone who doesn't want that thing to buy it from you. Okay. A lot of the time we feel a bit icky about selling because we imagine bumping into someone in the street and trying to get them to purchase our candles, even though they absolutely hate candles and would never buy one from us. And that imaginary interaction makes us feel awkward. It makes us feel like we are pushing our product or service down the throats of our audience. That is the wrong way to look at it. What you actually want to be doing is approaching selling from a viewpoint of you trying to let people in your audience know that you have a product or service available that might help them in some way. Whether it helps them because it teaches them something new, or whether it's entertaining or it's a source of comfort, whatever the product or service will be, you need to focus on communicating the value of that to people who would benefit from that value. So let's go back to my original analogy. Let's say you are a product business owner and you sell candles which relate to your star sign, which by the way, I've just made up and I actually think is a great product idea. So if you have that already, hit me up in the comments. If you don't, maybe you want to start it. I don't know. I think this business idea has legs. Anyway, let's imagine that you're a business owner and you sell candles that relate to your star sign, right? Let's imagine someone called Jane who doesn't believe in astrology, who doesn't care about star signs, and who also doesn't like to light candles. And on the flip side, let's consider someone called Martin who is well into his astrology and loves to light a good candle. When you are trying to sell to your audience, you should focus on selling to Martin, not to Jane. Jane is never going to buy this candle from you, and it's nothing personal, it's just not for her. Martin, however, would like to know that you have this candle available because it sounds like it's right up Martin's street. If you let your fear of speaking to Jane put you off from selling your candle, Martin will never have the chance to buy it from you. And that's not fair. Martin wants to buy the candle from you, okay? So when you are selling, I want you to think about the people in your audience who would get value from your product or service and focus on talking to them. The next thing which is potentially holding you back from selling is that you do not have the right arsenal of tools in your tool basket, tool kit. Surely it's like a tool kit. It's not a tool basket, right? Tool box? I don't own tools, can you tell? What I'm referring to here are like digital programs and applications and stuff like that, which is going to help you create content which will sell effectively to your audience. This is where Pixar comes in. So I mentioned at the top of this video that they are very kindly sponsoring this video. And this is a seamless fit because Pixar has some incredible tools available which will massively help you create content which sells. The tool I want to focus on in today's video is actually their remove tool. Now, this is one of my favorite tools to use because it essentially allows you to remove any unwanted objects from photos that you're taking. So let's say you've done a photo shoot and you've captured some of your products in this beautiful venue, but there's someone walking past in the background. You've got the perfect shot, the lighting is hitting the product perfectly, but then that one person who walks past, which by the way, they are well within their right to do so, has walked past in the background and it's messed up your shot. Previously, back in my old day, we would just have to bite the bullet and be like, okay, we can't use that photo. But now, thanks to Pixar, we do have tools such as their remove tool, which will allow us to fix it up. So shall we do a quick demo? Okay, so I'm actually going to use a live demo because this is a photo that I want to upload and I do need to remove something from it. This is a selfie from myself and my husband in south of France last week. Now, at first glance, you might be like, what's the problem? I don't see anything major here. My issue with this photo is our dear friend, is it Ben Stiller? Do you know, I never knew that that was his name. Like, I know his face and I know he's an actor, but like, I don't think I ever realized that was what his name was. A photo of Ben Stiller from, I'm guessing, Cannes Lions Film Festival is in the background. Now, I don't like it because it's quite a big photo and I think it draws focus from myself and my husband. So what we're going to do is scroll to the remove tool here. So I've clicked on the remove tool. We're going to literally just highlight what I want to remove, click remove, wait for it to load, and then voila. it's gone. Ben Stiller has left the building, and then it's a lovely photo of myself and my husband. So that's just one example of how you can use the remove tool to make your content pop. So this is perfect for business owners or creators, anyone who's trying to create content that sells. You really want to make sure that the item of which you are trying to promote is super clear, it's in focus, and is the main object that people are looking at. In order for you to do that, guys, you might need to use a remove tool to remove any other distractions. All right, shall we move on to the next reason why you are potentially not selling very well? This reason is because your content balance is wrong. Stick with me here. We're about to get our marketing hats on. Does everyone have their marketing hats ready? The last time I said this, I said I was going to buy a marketing hat. I still have not bought one. Can you send me some suggestions of where I should buy this marketing hat from? It needs to fit over this, which is the biggest barrier. The marketing hat, for anyone who's new here, is just what I say when I'm about to say some marketing spiel. So buckle up. What I'm referring to here is identifying the purpose of each piece of content that you share and realizing that the purpose for all of your content can't be to sell. Now, there is a concept that I use called the CCC funnel, which I created myself. It's basically just a version of the consumer purchase funnel. Don't stress, we're not going to get into the weeds of all of this. But if you do want to know more about that, I literally just filmed a whole masterclass on creator marketing where I combine marketing concepts with your social media marketing strategy. And it's available instantly when you join the collective. It's actually more of a mini course because it's quite long, but it's available instantly when you join the collective, which is my membership. So I'll put a link to it below. Anyway, the CCC funnel basically identifies the 3 core types of content that you should be sharing on your channel. The first type is capture content, which is designed to capture the attention of your audience. Then it's converse content, which is all about driving engagement. And then there's conversion content. Conversion content is when you are selling to your audience. The mistake that I'm referring to right now is that you might be sharing too much conversion content. Yes, you should be selling to your audience from time to time, 100%. However, it's important that you have other types of content that you are sharing with your audience as well. Your audience is not following you to be sold to all the time. Nobody wants to be sold to all the time. Remember what I said at the start about making sure that Martin, your ideal customer, knows that you have a product or service that he would love? That's still very much valid. However, in order for Martin to even know who you are, you probably need to be sharing some other content that is engaging or funny or educational or whatever it might be to actually hook Martin in. Sorry, did my dog just jump off the couch? She shouldn't have done that. We have stairs and a ramp, but she doesn't use them. Anyway, you need to be sharing content for Martin to love and engage with in order for him to be there when you're ready to sell to him, when you're ready to share that conversion content and let him know that you have this astrology candle that he would love. As I said, guys, full masterclass on all of that stuff if you want to dive deeper. But for now, just know that you can't always be selling to your audience. You need to have a good balance of content. All right, the next reason why you might be struggling to sell is quite simply because you do not believe in what you are selling. Guys, if you do not like what you're selling, whether it's a product, it's a service, maybe you're working with a brand and you've never used the product or the service that you're promoting, so you don't even know if it's good, right? That will seep through. That will manifest itself in different ways and it will make it difficult for you to sell to your audience. If you do not believe in the product or the service that you are selling, how on earth are you supposed to authentically sell it? So this point is specifically for those of you out there watching this video, just know there's no judgment. I love you. This is a safe space, okay?
No judgment.
If you are selling something that is broken or faulty or that you know is potentially going to break or become faulty, this is for you. You got to stop selling that thing. You've got to fix the problems first or stop working with that brand because you will not be able to sell that product authentically. This is also for anyone out there, especially educational businesses. If you don't believe the product that you're selling is actually useful or valuable, that will manifest itself when you are trying to sell it. The last one that I want to call out here, because I'm not going to lie to you, this is only something that I've learned about in recent months, and maybe I should have known about it sooner, I don't know. They call it MRR, and that acronym is used for multiple other things in the business world. It's referring to people who sell digital products to people who want to resell their digital products. So it'd basically be like me buying an ebook off of an ebook seller and then selling it to you guys. Whether or not you were aware that that's a really dodgy thing to do, and maybe it isn't something that's super aligned with your values, whether or not you're aware of that previously, it's important that you know now that you will find it easier to sell to your audience when you are selling something that you truly believe in, that you've had a hand in creating and that you know is going to be valuable. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the last and certainly not the least reason is that you do not understand your buyer, and that is what's making it difficult for you to sell to them. Now, this could be a video in itself. We're not going to dive into the how do you get to know your audience conversation for today's video. What I want to focus on right now is the fact that you need to be aware of whether or not your audience are ready to buy from you, and if they're not, you need to know how to fill that gap. This is a very common mistake that people make when they're trying to sell, especially when they're new to the world of selling and marketing, is that they don't consider whether their audience are actually ready to buy from them or not. For example, if you are selling a product or a service that solves a problem for your audience, does your audience know that they have this problem that needs solving? Like, do they actually know? Let me give you an example, right? Okay, I'm actually gonna, oh, I'm balancing my thing on this. Okay. Sorry, look at Mojo. Can you just zoom in on her? She's so cute. I can't deal with her. Look at her. We've only recently just allowed her on the couch and she's absolutely loving it. Can you tell? Okay, so an example, right? I recently was gifted this journal. It's the 5-minute journal. Basically, it's full of journal prompts and it invites you to practice gratitude on a daily basis. Now, if you are the owner of this business and you start selling this to your audience without stopping to consider whether or not your audience understands what a journal prompt is, understands the value of a journal prompt, and understands why you should practice gratitude. If your audience doesn't know any of that stuff, you trying to sell a journal with all these journal prompts that encourages them to practice gratitude is going to go way over their head. They're literally going to be like, why do I need to do that? I can journal without prompts. Why do I need to practice gratitude? They won't understand the value of what you're selling because you haven't analyzed their relationship to the problem yet. This is actually a marketing hats back on. There's a marketing concept which is called something like your buyer's problem awareness or something, where you're basically trying to figure out how aware of the problem that you're trying to solve is your buyer. That's basically what I'm referring to, but I'm just saying it in super simplistic layman's terms because I don't remember the complicated version and I don't think we need to know it, to be honest. Okay, I really hope you found this video useful. Do not forget to check out Pixar so that you can really get started creating content which helps you sell. I will of course leave a link below. I will also link to my creator marketing masterclass in case you want to dive deeper into some of the subjects that we covered in today's video. If you feel like hanging around, I recommend watching this video. It's all about my top 5 content hacks that all creators and business owners really should know. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I can't wait to see you in my next video.